until he saw that there were only 2 wooden plaques in the man's box. His cousin was instantly overjoyed. He mistakenly thought Grandpa had already designated him as the heir to the business. Little did he know that the man's recently revealed plaque had almost exposed its color. That was why the man had hidden his plaque. Then the 2 cousins began turning over the wooden plaques one by one. According to their grandfather's will, whoever collected more green plaques would inherit the estate. Unexpectedly, both men's first plaques were green. Seeing this, everyone urged them to keep flipping the plaques. At this moment, his cousin's wife, worried about losing the match, advised her husband to withdraw his bet to minimize losses. The cousin ignored his wife's advice. Instead, he staked the luxury car their grandfather had given him. Their father stepped forward to try to stop him, but he was already so invested in the gamble that he couldn't extricate himself. He felt he had no choice but to fight for the family inheritance. Since the man had just bet all of his assets, everyone thought the man was about to lose to his cousin. The man suddenly staked the next 10 years' profits from his shops. He would not give up on competing for the family inheritance under any circumstances. Seeing this, the cousin taunted him, saying he'd be working for him for the next decade, but the man insisted his choice was correct. The cousin had to instruct his assistant to fetch his company contract. The wife, seeing this, was extremely worried. She told him there was no need to bet so many assets on a single test. If they lost, they would be ruined. So the wife flipped over the second plaque. The cousin angrily snatched it away, proudly showing the second green plaque in his hand. Seeing this, everyone thought the cousin was certain to win. They urged the man to quickly flip his second plaque, even though they all hoped he would lose. When they saw his second plaque was also green, everyone was shocked. After all, Grandma had said there were both green and red plaques in the box, yet the 4 revealed plaques were all green. The color of the final plaque would decide the outcome. His cousin's wife fell into panic again, but the cousin, having just seen that his 3 plaques were green, assumed the man could not beat him. Therefore, he staked 10% of his company stock to continue the gamble. If the man could not match that bet in value, it would be deemed that the man had forfeited his inheritance rights, with no assets left to stake. The uncle urged the man to quit the gamble immediately, claiming that even risking his life couldn't outmatch his cousin's company shares. Suddenly, the man understood their grandfather's parting words. He realized that the real key to winning often lay outside the game itself. In other words, to beat his cousin, he couldn't rely on his own strength alone. If everyone present united, they could win. The man asked his relatives to help him this time. The cousin doubted anyone would help him. The man had no choice but to recall past incidents to move them one by one. Years ago, the uncle had asked his cousin for money, and the cousin not only refused, but burned the cash in front of him. Also, the aunt's child had been gravely ill that year. She begged the cousin for money to pay for treatment but was refused, and was even beaten by him. Seeing that no one wanted to help, the cousin taunted the man again, saying he was wasting his effort. The man did not give up. In the end, through his relentless effort, he persuaded everyone. They had all been oppressed by the cousin before. They realized that only by letting the man inherit the family business could they attain true dignity. So everyone took out money and assets to support the man. Seeing this, the cousin accused the man of breaking the rules by soliciting funds from relatives, but Grandma supported the man's actions. Once the man's bet equaled the cousin's wager, they prepared to flip the 3rd plaque in the box. Suddenly, Grandma walked over and stopped them, claiming that their grandfather would never have wanted them to turn against each other. Yet neither was willing to regret their pursuit of their own goal. And so the cousin flipped his 3rd green plaque first. He thought the man was definitely going to lose this time, but unexpectedly, the man's 3rd wooden plaque was also green. The cousin was instantly incredulous and accused the man of cheating.